Back at Phoenix International Raceway, let's check our NASCAR Busch Series update. Scott Wimmer just basically overpowered Greg Biffle in the closing laps yesterday. Biffle led 185 of 200 laps, but Wimmer took the win away. And our man Wally from 37th to 9th. We'll give you credit for that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Big story of the day, Greg Biffle locking up the NASCAR Busch Series Championship for 2002. Congratulations to he and the Jack Roush team. Now the Craftsman Truck Series update. Kevin Harvick won a thrilling race here on Friday by about a half a hood over Ted Musgrave. And their championship will go down to next Friday's race at Homestead Miami Speedway with just 32 points between first and second. And Ted Musgrave still in the hunt. That's part of Ford Championship Weekend at Homestead next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Going to be a lot of fun. Palm trees and race cars. Can't beat the combination. Jamie McMurray involved in the caution earlier. His car's gone to the garage. Dave's with him.
And he just climbed out, Alan. Jamie, what happened on the track?
Well, I don't really know. The car was a little bit tight, just kind of trying to stay out of the way, and felt like I found a position I could ride in, and the 29 got by me, and whoever was behind him got into the back of me. I guess we were in the way. But I don't know. Everybody talked about all the luck I was having, and apparently it ran out yesterday and today. We just, I don't know, wrong place at the wrong time.
And the crew fixing it. Can you get back out?
Yeah, it looks like the track bar mount went into the truck arm, and I just really couldn't drive it, and we couldn't figure out what was wrong, so they're going to come back and try to get fixed, and we'll go right around.
All right, yeah, it'll be the second day in a row he's done that. He mentioned a wreck in the Busch race yesterday, and another one today, guys.
Boy, riding around is no fun, because you are in the way.
Second place here.
Pretty even Steven so far, Benny.
Yes, it is.
And don't forget that 12 car's just got right side tires on his pit stop.
He's hanging pretty tough with those two rights, but I think Jeff Gordon eventually with the 4 fresh tires in the 24 will wear him out, wear him down, get by, but pretty interesting to watch.
While we watch this for a second, let me also tell you Rusty Wallace just got right side tires, moved up from 24th to 11th on his pit stop. And Matt Kenseth just got right side tires and moved up from 21st to 10th. One of the big stories in these final 2 races will be the fight from 3rd to 7th in the NASCAR Winston Cup standings. 48 points separate those positions starting the day, and you saw how tight things are.
This is one thing you got to be careful of here too, is when you got 2 cars running side by side, you run so much slower than the guys running single file, and you can see that Dave Blaney has made up a lot of ground on these 2 cars because they're running side by side, and it looks like Mark Martin is coming in pretty quick as well.
And Junior's checked out.
Yeah, in the meantime, Junior's running faster too and put more distance between them.
I mean, right now, Dale Jr. is running about a half second a lap faster than these 2 cars running side by side. But they're both race car drivers and a little stubborn. No, I want second. No, I want second. You're not going to get it, and that's where we are.
He said race car drivers were a little stubborn. You're going to take that?
Well, he knows. I can't believe that he said that.
He knows it's the truth.
Yeah. Here comes Mark. Like you said a second ago, BP. Or was it Wallace? One of you said. One of into the picture. And still, for second place, they race on.
Now, if Blaney could give somebody a push.
Not like a push in the draft, but literally a push with the front bumper.
That too.
How about that? Blaney goes by Gordon to take over the 3rd spot.
And the guy with 2 tires hung on.
And Jeff Gordon has won at 19 of the 23 tracks on the NASCAR Winston Cup circuit presently. This is not one of them. So what's left to race for if you can't win the championship? How about another spot in the record book? Blaney by Ryan Newman for second. Only problem is he's 5.2 seconds behind the leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Once he finishes the pass.
Oh, look, contact there between 24 and 12. Ryan said, okay, you want that bad, Jeff? Have at it.
It's just a lot easier passing that way.
But those 2 aren't done.
No, Newman said, whoa, wait a minute. Can't do me like that.
Tempers, tempers. And Jeff just wants to get away.
Yeah.
Hey, where's another 50 horsepower that I could get right now to get away from this 12 car?
And now Newman's got to worry about Mark Martin in the 6, who's taking a look on the outside. It's
Tight over there.
very tight over there.
Now watch out for that wall, please.
That wall does come at you quickly. Mark's going to go downstairs.
Mark looking for 4th place on Ryan Newman. Tony Stewart is up to 10th. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. has extended his lead even farther. 5.5 seconds on 2nd place, Dave Blaney. 52 laps complete here at Phoenix on NBC.
Home Depot presents NASCAR Winston Cup Racing from Phoenix. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Call 1-800-RENT-A-CAR. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. By UPS, official delivery company of NASCAR. We want to race the truck. People love the truck. By Walmart. Always low prices. Always. And by Yamaha, makers of fine motorcycles and ATVs. Nobody's more in tune with motorsports than Yamaha.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the leader of the Checker Auto Parts 500 at Phoenix, but his lead on Dave Blaney is shrinking. Here's our Little Debbie trivia question. Who is the only driver to win Phoenix and the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship in the same season?
Alan Quickie.
Wrong.
Rusty Wallace.
Wrong. This was a great race, and as soon as I start telling the story, you'll remember. Dale Earnhardt, 1990. Mark Martin led coming into the race. Dale Earnhardt not only won the event, but he absolutely dominated. He led like the final 3/4 of the race, took the championship lead from Mark, then went on to Atlanta and locked up the title.
Alan knows all the answers.
I didn't remember that.
Well, to borrow a line from someone who's very close to us, we looked that up so you don't have to.
There you go.
Kenny Wallace in the 23 car trying to run down Ryan Newman. This is a battle for the 5th position.
And Matt Kenseth really creeping up. Remember, he took just the 2 tires on the pit stop, BP, but he's moving through the top 10.
Well, this is the kind of racetrack that you would think that Matt Kenseth would excel on.
How about our championship leader, Tony Stewart? Where's he at?
There he is. And there is 10th.
Kurt Busch right behind him there. Remember, he had that little altercation on pit road that might have mashed up his right front fender a little bit. Elliott Sadler, let's mention, the report from pit road when he was, remember, he was involved in that contact too. Knocked the front end alignment out a little bit on the 21 car.
I don't see a whole lot of damage on that 97 car. I thought there'd be a lot more by the looks of the hit on pit lane.
No, it looks pretty good. Tony Stewart goes by, takes another spot.
That'll be 9th place for Tony. All right, so that's where your championship leader is running, now up to 9th. And what about the 48 car, Jimmy Johnson, 3rd in the championship? Well, he's another one that took just 2 tires on his pit stop. And Dave, after starting way back in the field in 37th, he's moved up nicely.
Now he was just a little bit loose on the throttle, and they discussed changes to make. They really couldn't come up with the best solution, so they decided not to hurt the car at all. They made no changes to the way the car was set up, and as you mentioned, just took on 2 right side tires.
And the scoring serial on Jimmy Johnson showing you he's currently in 13th place. Mark Martin running 4th. Behind Dale Earnhardt Jr. out in front of Dave Blaney, but the lead is shrinking rapidly. Coming up on the 1/4 mark of the race, you're watching NASCAR on NBC.
A sunny day here in Phoenix as Home Depot brings you the NASCAR Winston Cup Series from the Phoenix International Raceway. Spectacular day, breezy temperature about 75 degrees. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. out in front of this field after 72 laps. Outstanding run for Jr. One word about the car. Perfect. He's up front. Let's take you through the field. He's number 1 on the track, following him the 77 car of Dave Blaney. I asked the crew if Blaney had said anything. They said no. He's too busy driving driving the car. Blaney with a good race here so far. Got 4 tires, no changes on his first stop. Marty Snyder.
Bill, this is one of only 4 tracks on the Winston Cup circuit Jeff Gordon has not won at. They tested here in an effort to win. Seems like it's paying off so far. Just a little bit loose for Gordon. He started 4th. Currently, he's 3rd. Dave?
Marty, moments ago, we picked up this radio transmission from Mark Martin.
Definitely loose, Ben. Definitely loose. Definitely loose. I'm struggling. That's why I need times.
Mark Martin has been distracted all day, first with racing John Andretti, then with radio problems. They switched to that backup channel. Marty?
Back on lap 29 on pit road, Matt Kentz's team took on 2 tires. It's worked pretty good. On lap 45, he said, it's coming in. I like the way it's going right now. Our pole sitter, Ryan Newman, right behind him on the racetrack. Lots of changes planned. They think the 2 tires they took on are not working so well. Ryan Newman, extremely tight in his race car right now. Matt?
Kenny Wallace is faded from 6th to 7th. The trend all weekend. It takes 25 laps for his car to get moving, but that should have been back at lap 56. The car just way too free. They're talking about a wedge adjustment. Bill.
Rusty Wallace from 29th to 8th on the racetrack. Make that 7th now. Wallace running 7th. Just 2 tires on his first stop, but it's worked out well for the 2 team. This team is focused, and there's no driver that is more determined to win in the next 2 weeks than Rusty Wallace.
We are very, very aggressive right now, and I'm very on the edge of just. I don't care how I get the job done, as long as I bring back the steering wheel and the thing's parked in the victory lane, it'll be fine with me. I don't care if it's a one big ball of flames or whatever. I just want to get the job done.
Rusty Wallace has not won this season, starved for a victory, has won here before when he was in the same situation, would like to repeat that feat, doing well on the 2 tires, actually changed his line to improve the car, and it worked. Behind him is the championship standings leader, Tony Stewart. Still a little tight in the center. They want to make a track bar adjustment and an air pressure adjustment to make the car roll a little better. As for the 97 car of Kurt Busch, had that incident on pit road. Really not much damage. They're more concerned about the fender braces than anything else, but the car is tight. Kurt said it's too tight and it's way too early for this. Matt?
A further update on the 23 of Kenny Wallace. He's faded now all the way back to 10th. He says the car is way too free all the way through. Now they're talking a track bar adjustment and wedge adjustment on their next stop, Alan.
77 laps complete, working lap 78. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s advantage over Dave Blaney has dwindled to 2.4 seconds as the leader's in some pretty heavy lap traffic. He's put up to 32nd place. Joe Nemechek now 1 lap down. Let's continue going through the field. Marty, how about Elliott Sadler?
He's trying to track down Kenny Wallace, Al, and they had a test at Homestead earlier this week. The team called back to the shop, said, let's switch the car. We're going to take to Phoenix. Since then, they've been extremely fast all weekend. They have a little bit of a toe-out problem right now, Dave.
Jimmy Johnson's secret to success, the 24 car Jeff Gordon tested here, gave him the setup. He was fast yesterday, even though Gordon struggled. Marty?
Dave, it has been 18 races since John Andretti finished in the top 10. They had big hopes today. He started 2nd. He has fallen back to 13th. The car is extremely tight for Andretti, just will not turn off the corner, Matt.
The 1 Roush car still seeking their season's first win. Jeff Burton runs in 14, trying for the 3-peat here at Phoenix. They've got a lot of work to do. The car, after the wedge adjustment back on lap 28, still not any better. They can't get their front end in the racetrack. Meanwhile, the 88 of Dale Jarrett, another former Phoenix winner, he was fighting tight on entry, tight in the middle. They made an adjustment back on lap 28, air pressure. It is getting better, but slowly. Dave?
Kevin Harvick started 25th. He said his car was tight and needs forward bite. They made an air pressure adjustment to compensate for that on his last pit stop. Marty?
Dave, Jimmy Spencer is a man fighting for a job. He's also fighting to keep Ken Schrader behind him on the racetrack. The car extremely tight for Spencer right now, and he's fighting that condition. Started 10th, he has fallen back to 17th. Ken Schrader having a pretty nice run. He also is a little bit tight. It's been 373 races since Schrader won. Boy, that would be a party if he could do it, and he goes past Jimmy Spencer. Dave?
Michael Waltrip started 38th, Marty, and he's all the way up to 19th on the last stop. They made no changes. The car is pretty good, and he's been quiet on the radio ever since. Bill?
Ricky Rudd with Raymond Fox calling the shots from on top of the pit box. Car just a little bit loose. 4 tires on his first stop. Rudd, with just 2 races left in this car, would like to get it back to victory lane. Dave, how about the 18 that just got by him?
And the 18 is running very well. Bobby Labonte has Fatback McSwain giving information this weekend. his crew chief next year, and it's doing well so far for him. Alan?
So there are the top 21 cars. Rest of the lead lap, there are a total of 30 of them. Scott Wimmer, Johnny Benson, Mike Wallace, Robbie Gordon. Then Jeremy Mayfield, Ward Burton, Steve Park, Todd Bodine, and Jason Leffler. Then you get back to leader Dale Earnhardt Jr. out in front after 83 laps, a quarter distance here in Phoenix. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.